WWE are extremely interested in signing an AEW star. Plus, AEW talent come out in support of WWE in a lawsuit from MLW. Plus, a major Attitude Era team could be reuniting. All of that in the wrestling news right now. Wardlow had a good night on the Dynamite TE, and it didn't go unnoticed. WrestleVotes tweeting, I can confirm without hesitation that WWE will be extremely interested in luring Wardlow away from AEW when his contract is due. There are several people within WWE that love his potential. I am gobsmacked that WWE would be interested in a big beefy boy like Wardlow. It's so against what they normally go for.
I know, this is outrageous, isn't it? No, it's no surprise at all. And I think it's one that's really possible. One thing that we're asked a lot and we talk about a lot is like, who will be the first big AEW star to go to WWE rather than the other way around? Because we've seen a lot of that. We've seen a lot of people heading from Titan over to AEW. But Wardlow really wouldn't surprise me because, first of all, yeah, he's everything that they want, and they're probably going to chuck money at him for doing so. But when he was signed to AEW, I guess he was a sort of relative unknown. He didn't really have the name value that a lot of other people on the roster had. So, you know, his contract may not be there financially with what he wants. So if AEW aren't able to compete with WWE when it comes to the finances, maybe he would head over there. And I think he's one of the people that they might do quite well with as well. As you say, he sort of fits the WWE mold, doesn't he?
He really does. I could see him doing well there, as you say. One to keep an eye on. Do you reckon Wardlow, obviously a name that a lot of people mention, but I'd like your thoughts on this one as well, because I don't think we've probably spoke about it. Could MJF go the same way? He's somebody that's been... No?
No, I don't think so. And that's another person that, like, when his contract is up, it will absolutely, or approaching finishing, it'll all kick off on Twitter. He'll use it to his advantage in the same way that sort of Randy Orton did, you know, when he was teasing that he'd go to AEW and he never would. I think he'll do the same thing because it fits into his character. I think he'll tease the place that is going to pay him the most money in kayfabe or whatever, or in real life as well. He'll tease it. He'll work us all, and we'll all be talking about it. We'll make lots of news videos about it, about the fact that he might head over to WWE, and I don't think he will because they properly invested in him. And I'm not saying that they haven't done that with Wardlow, but the key word to me in that quote is potential, and I don't think we've seen everything that we've got to see from Wardlow yet. He's really just sort of getting started. And he does have heaps of potential, so I can understand why they would want to invest in him.
Lots of people talking about Wardlow after that tweet last night, and lots of people also talking about MLW. They have filed an antitrust lawsuit against WWE. They're claiming that WWE has stopped multiple business-changing deals going through for MLW. They claim that WWE tried to turn Vice TV off from working with them in previous occasions, and just a litany of other things which they say that WWE is, as a monopoly, damaging the wrestling business, and that's where this antitrust lawsuit has come from. In an interesting twist this morning, Joey Janella has come forward to discuss this. He's currently on the AEW roster. He's a GCW star. He also had a run in MLW in 2018. But Joey Janella has come down the side of support for WWE. So Janella put out on Twitter, this dude has, referring to Court Bauer, the owner of MLW, this dude has no GCW written into his new contracts for MLW performers because I called him out for taking advantage of young talent. I hope the Titan puts out.
Braun Strowman, that's who he means.
That's basically
the Titan to head in and batter Vince. Take that.
Coming to give you an hand. He put out another tweet saying, I know it's the cool thing to support the underdog taking on the big dog. Roman Reigns now is getting involved. But this ain't it. Janella also reacted with to a tweet from filmmaker Giancarlo Di Tamo, which is an interesting one to step into this. I know there's been some involvement there in the past, but he put out a tweet saying, "I hope these guys know a lawyer costs more than $150 a month for 2 years," making some comments about contractual situations at MLW. Janella responded with, "How do you describe the emoji where it's just like..."
I think you've done it there. I think that your face says it all, Tom.
The heart emoji, the indifferent teeth emoji. So this is a surprise to see people supporting WWE on this side of things.
Yeah, it sure is. To me, and I want to make it clear that obviously I don't have a horse in the race here. I know it's very easy to, back the little guy.
You don't have any horses. You do not work at a stable.
No, but it's easy to go, oh yeah, Fed bad, right? And like they're the corporation, everything. But to me, just reading these tweets, it seems like he's got a bit of a vendetta against MLW, and that's perhaps fair because of the way that he may have been treated in the past. I don't know anything about it, but it's really it sounds very boring of me to say. This is one for the courts to decide, isn't it? This is why I don't know the specifics. You don't know the specifics. We know a little bit from the statement that was released yesterday. But obviously a lot's gone down. And if WWE have acted inappropriately or unlawfully, then they should be held accountable. To me, it sounds like Janella doesn't like this particular bloke, and he wants this particular bloke to lose because he doesn't like this particular bloke.
A particular bloke that AEW love is Tony Shivani. We can confirm via the latest episode of What Happened When that AEW have re-signed Tony Shivani. 2 extra years, 2 more years at least of Big Tony on AEW. And rightfully so. I think he's had a career renaissance working for AEW.
For sure, and I think he's one of those people that might not have always sprung to mind. When you're talking about legendary commentators, he's somebody that actually people ended up forgetting because he hadn't done it on a big stage for so long. And he's one of the best in the business. I think he's always been one of the best in the business. And what's been great about this, especially great about this, is the fact that his passion has clearly been so reignited for professional wrestling, and he's obviously enjoying his work a great deal, and he adds so much to the program. So I would be gutted if it ended in mid-2024, to be honest. I hope he stays with them for a lot longer, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't know what you think about Tony Schiavone, but I think he's one of the greatest of all time. I'd really put him up there with the Monsoons and the JRs. I think he's excellent at what he does. So this is awesome. Good for him.
It's nice when you have somebody who does come back and enhance their reputation and enhance their career by doing so. So good for Tony Schiavone. From a passion reunited to maybe an Attitude Era tag team, Adam. Who are we talking about?
Oh, you didn't know?
I didn't know.
Funny stuff. Billy Gunn, the Road Dogg, Jesse James. You know them as the Voodoo King Mafia. Yeah, but they also had a brief run. My house. They had a brief run in the WWF as a very controversial team called the New Age Outlaws. And Billy Gunn filing an interesting trademark that gives a bit of a hint as to what they might be doing next. Obviously, Road Dogg Jesse James very, very recently let go by WWE. He was working as a coach and a producer. One of Triple H's boys is now a free agent, or well, he's got a little bit of time on his no compete, but we'll see what happens anyway, because the trademark filed is first of all for goods and services, so merch. They can make t-shirts if this goes through with the New Age Outlaws name on it, something that they've not been able to do independently before. But also the interesting bit, for performance and entertainment services, and this covers everything from signings, appearances at conventions, that sort of thing, but also matches, professional wrestling performances, which hints that maybe, just maybe, and I don't think they'd be registering this trademark in this class if they weren't going to be doing this, they're going to be getting back together potentially in a match. And obviously they had like the nostalgia run in WWE where they actually held the tag titles for a little bit. That was a very, very odd time. But maybe they'll be the team to absolutely batter Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, which is something that I'd really like to see. I think this is it benefits the whole professional wrestling world for the 50-something-year-olds to hold those tag straps once again. So that's what I want to see personally.
Best for business. I mean, if they weren't to have a run in AEW, was there any other teams that you'd like to see the New Age Outlaws square up to?
Probably just Deuce and Domino.
Yeah, fair. More news. The Briscoes, I think. Get them in there with the Briscoes. Get them doing some stuff in GCW. I think they could have a lot of fun. I think they'll have a lot of fun on the Indies. I think there'd be a good laugh to have around. A good laugh to have around.
I want them to dominate, Tom. I truly do. I want to. You know that picture of the Dudleys with all the belts that they've held? I want that by the end of this year. Don't make us wait, all right?
Promoters,
strike while the iron's hot.
Worldwide promoters, make that happen, you cowards. More news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.